is up, you guys? This is MiniSuperHeroes Today.
Hey guys, Jonathan here, aka MiniSuperHeroes Today, and as a lifelong Back to the Future fan, a dream came true today, and that is the LEGO Back to the Future DeLorean set. Now this is an 18 plus set. It retails for $169.99 and is available at LEGO stores and LEGO Online and probably some other places here in the very near future. Now, I love this set. I just have to say it's fantastic, but I've also been a lifelong Back to the Future fan. So the thing I want to say about this before we get into looking at the details and stuff, if you're a Back to the Future fan and if you have any passing interest in LEGO, I'm just going to say it right now, this is a must buy. It was so fun to build. I watched Back to the Future Part 1 and 2 while building it, and it's just so much fun, and I feel like this is a great build to bring you back into the fold of LEGO if you aren't currently a fan, or if you are a fan of LEGO, it's just a great build, and honestly, it is just phenomenal. So let's get into a closer look. But before that, I wanted to tell you, too, just a cool, quick story. I met the cast of Back to the Future back in 2016, and I actually got them to sign my life-sized hoverboard. So there's Christopher Lloyd, there's Michael J. Fox, Claudia Wells, I met her separately. Of course, we've got Leia Thompson, who played Marty's mom, and Bob Gale. So some really cool signatures on that, and I just thought it'd be cool to share that since we're talking Back to the Future. Now, let's get into the review.
Before we look at the car itself, I always like to look at the minifigs up first. These are two brand new minifigures, and they're really phenomenal. Of course, they come on this really cool little display stand that you build with a sticker with all the schematics for the DeLorean time machine, which I really love. And then, of course, we have the two minifigs. I love everything about them, if I'm being completely honest. Unfortunately, the only bad part is Marty McFly's head, which is the reused Han Solo head, as well as Hawkeye. I think it's been used in some other places. It's just kind of a bummer because the old Marty McFly head we got for LEGO Dimensions was perfect. But, of course, it is double-sided, as is Doc Brown's head, so I'll flip him around so you can see the alternate sides. Definitely pretty good. I like them a lot. I just wish we could have gotten a better head for Marty, but otherwise, both minifigs are pretty dang awesome. Now, as you can see off to the side here, there are some spare parts that allow you to change the Back to the Future 1 DeLorean into Part 2 or 3, so I'm going to slide those out, and we'll take a look at those as we go along. I really want to focus on the main build first. Alright, so here we have the DeLorean, and it looks phenomenal. My friend Colin back in Pennsylvania actually owns one of these, so I've gotten to spend a good bit of time around it, and I have to say it has translated from real life into LEGO pretty darn well. So, yeah, that's really great. I love all the detailing in the back, which we'll take a closer look at, but I just wanted to give a 360 spin. Now, as far as play features, this is more of a display set than a play set, so there aren't very many play features. Of course, it rolls back and forth. It does not turn, interestingly enough, but that's because the wheels can flip down for flying mode, which we'll look at in the Part 2 section. Looking at it straight on, it looks phenomenal. I mean, it really looks like it's straight out of the movie. The DMC, which of course stands for DeLorean Motor Company, is actually printed, which was a nice surprise. There are stickers in this, but it was nice that there's some printed options. Just like a real DeLorean, you can lift up the hood, and there are some cool little Easter egg props hidden inside, one of which is a hoverboard. It's larger than minifig scale, but it's closer to scale with the car. Then we also have this box of plutonium, which of course comes from the first movie, which is what Doc Brown stole from the Libyans. A lot of people don't know that DeLoreans actually have the engine in the back and the storage in the front, so that's pretty cool, and I like that LEGO honored that with this build. Another cool thing to talk about is the actual windshield. The windshield looks phenomenal, and it's actually kind of angled. I haven't seen this in any other sets that I can think of, so I don't know if it's completely new for this, but it is pretty cool. I really like the angled pieces here on the ball joints that help give it the, flowing motion up the body. I really wish there were windows. These are open, but, it is what it is. If I get really ambitious, I may try to mock a window in there, but I don't know. I might leave it to an expert that does that better than me. Now, one of the standard, or I guess highlighted things of a DeLorean is the fact that they have Gall Doors, which open straight up, which is pretty cool. Like I said, my friend Colin has one, and it's pretty dang cool to see that in person. That allows us to get inside, but unfortunately, once this set is built up, it's actually kind of hard to see inside. So I filmed a little bit of footage while I was building it so that you could see what's on the dashboard. Of course, we've got the time travel schematics in the middle here and all of the great little Easter egg stuff. My birthday is actually October 27th, so I always wish Back to the Future took place one day later. Anyways, zooming back out on the car, I really love that the wheels have these cool little hubcap pieces that are printed. That's very nice. On both sides, we have an identical build here that allows for this wire to run from the front of the car underneath into the back. Speaking of the back, let's take a look back here. It's really phenomenal, all of the great little detailing that went into here. And like I said, when we get to the part of part 2 and part 3, I'll kind of show you how that changes back here. Taking a look at the bottom of the back is quite cool as well. Of course, we've got the out of time license plate, which is a sticker, and we've got these big fan pieces. I'm not sure what they actually are in the movie. I'm sure a Back to the Future expert can comment below, but they look really great. Now, I'll show you in the part 2 section how you change out the license plate. It's one of my big gripes for this set. Another thing is you can see this button that you push here and it turns a light on. Now, I wanted to show you how we press that button so that when we look at it here, I'm about to press it, and it turns a light on in the flux capacitor. Speaking of which, now's a good time to zoom in so you can see that. We've got a sticker on there, and I really like the grapple hook piece. It looks great once it's lit up. It looks super, super accurate to the movie. So really, that's all there is to say about the Part 1 version of the DeLorean. I'll flip it over so you can see the underside for my fellow car geeks out there, but it really does look great. I'll be curious on Rebrickable if somebody figures out a way to just make this a regular DeLorean, like not the time machine. I think that would honestly be pretty cool too. But let's get our future hats on and transform this thing into the version from Part 2. All right, so we're about to transform it into the Part 2 version, but before we do that, let me show you an up-close of the Mr. Fusion. Now, this is really cool. You just move this red latch here and push this back, and you can see there's a soda can and a banana inside, which is accurate to the film. That actually might be a beer can now that I think about it, but anyways, it is very cool. Now, again, we're about to do the transformation from Part 1 to Part 2, so let's zoom in our camera so you get a closer look here. Okay, so first we're going to take out this turbine piece and set it aside. Then we'll just detach these little hose pieces here and lift this up as well. So I think we are actually going to take these hose pieces out. Then what we do is we build this from the instruction manual, but we need to take these little ledge pieces and get these to be free because those go right here. They're kind of like supports in a way. So those supports go right here. Then you flip this back over and drop it into place just like that. And then you need to take this piece here, pull the turbine up and off of that to get this 2x2 piece free so that it's tall enough to stand. We're going to need to take this hook off. I forgot about that. And then this will click right into place just like that, nice and firm. And yeah, that's how you get Mr. Fusion into place. Now that Mr. Fusion is in place, there's one more thing we need to do to turn this into the 2015, and we need to flip the car over in order to do that. You've got this big red bar, and you just need to push it down, which moves the tires inward into flight mode. So that's very, very cool. I love the way the tires look down. And the set actually does come with a few 1x2 clear pieces that would allow this to sort of hover off the ground. Although, honestly, I don't know if it would clear these tires, but you could just sit it like this, and it looks pretty darn good. So the nice thing about these movies happening linearly is that as the movies go on, it just seems like there's more upgrades being made. So this takes us back to 1885, and I'll show you how we're going to upgrade the car from here. Basically, we're going to need to lift the hood up just like this and remove these side panels. Just set these aside for now. You're going to click off this entire top part and flip these two pieces around to give you some studs exposed on the top. So once we do that, that lets us go right here. And then we're going to put these little panel pieces back on to give us the hood just the way it was, but with some studs attached. Now we're going to go ahead and take this contraption. I don't know if it actually has a name or not, but that's the 1885 contraption on the front. But we're going to need this pole piece, or hose piece more accurately, that we took off of the part 1, because this goes right here. All right, so now the part 3 box is in place, and there's one thing left to do, and that's to change out the wheels. So you just remove the tire like this, and then we have these really nice red and white wheels. And what we're going to do is just pop the tire off of this, just like that, and put it onto the white wheel. Just like that. And then that just clicks in place there. And all you have to do is repeat that 4 times. So let's see what that looks like. All right, now we're in part 3 mode, and it looks great with those red and white wheels. Now, you may notice that I did not show you how to change the license plate, and that's because it's one of my big gripes with the set, so I wanted to save the negativity to be the very last thing. So let me show you how we do that. Okay, so the license plates are on these little clear window pieces. The California 2015 does look really good, but you do kind of have to deconstruct the set to do so. So you need to take these big turbines and push them out of the way. The nice thing is those hoses just kind of let them lean toward the front. If you have the part 2 or 3 in place, you're going to need to remove that element as well. Then this big bar right here that runs across will need to be removed. And then you kind of need to just fish this piece out. You can see that it's got these clips that go into those ball joints. Then you can just go ahead and sit it down, and then from here you have to like fish it out. You're gonna need like a longer piece. Since I just happen to have a pen here, let's see if I can push it out with a pen. There we go. You could probably use like a brick separator. I just didn't happen to have one handy. Should have thought about that while I was filming. But of course, you just clip that piece in, and then you repeat everything we just did. So all of that goes back. All of this leans back down. And then, of course, the final thing to do is to put the Mr. Fusion and the surrounding piece back into place. So there we go. And now we've got the license plates changed out. The instructions do not tell you how to do that, though, so that's the one good thing about you watching review content, is sometimes you get little Easter eggs along the way. So that's about all there is to say. I showed you all 3 versions, so let me zoom out so I can give you my final thoughts on everything overall.
Okay, guys, well, thanks. That's all I have to say about the set. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments below, and thank you so much for checking out this video. I always love the message of Back to the Future, that our future is whatever we want it to be, and I hope that you make yours a great one. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time.
Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.